Next question to you is, the technological revolution has already accelerated to another level. Technologies like robotics, AI, machine learning, Internet of Things, blockchain, drones, and augmented reality are being harnessed to create a safer, efficient, and more productive environment. So my question to you is, in your views, how technology will be helpful in reshaping the Indian economy? And one more, promotion of Indian languages and art and culture.
Yeah. First, I will try to concentrate on the technology with respect to research, innovation, entrepreneurship, and startups. Because as I already mentioned earlier, technology became a part of education. Maybe I can say technology is dominating to deliver this content in various formats. So basically, new education policy 2020 creates a robust ecosystem for researching, innovation, entrepreneurship, and for startups mainly. That will propel India into a leading knowledge economy and also drive the economic, intellectual, societal, environmental, and technological progress of our nation. This will tap into innovation potential of large talent pool to enhance research capabilities and output across disciplines. See, that's where the local language comes into picture, because we have lots of talent pool across the country. But because of the language barrier, they're not able to fulfill their requirements or their dreams. So we have created a couple of artificial intelligence based language translation tools where the content is available in 12 different Indian languages. So maybe I will touch that point again, but this is enabling and creating a larger talent pool and helping lots of adult also to create, to involve in research, innovation, etc. And NAP has another very beautiful thought process is translate the knowledge to wealth, by means of proper implementation of new education policy. So focusing research should be related to societal issues and problems connected to reality rather than generating research topics, because the previous education policy has this lagging, like identifying the society problems, industry problems, and solving it. I think that is where we need to concentrate, and the new education policy is going to concentrate more on that. So we are creating opportunities by providing a degree with research. So that is one area, where we are focusing and working on, and providing opportunities for students to work on their innovative ideas to solve real-time problems by organizing competitions, hackathons. We do lots of hackathons using our MIC. And at a national level, state level, international level, and we are creating a platform where students are supported by mentors while working on innovative ideas or internship opportunities, providing adequate funding. Example, we have something called Yukti. Using Yukti, we are helping students if they have some kind of a startup idea. We are helping them on due diligence, on mentoring them, on connecting them with various other startups, on the funding side, on the promotion side. I think, this is the completely, we have opened up a new area, where the student, while studying, he can be a researcher or a startup fellow or an entrepreneur. So you can do all this while you are in college.
Exactly.
And identifying leading research institutes, universities to act as mentors / margadarsaks, what we call it, to all the students as well as faculty. And as I said, there's lots of technological innovations which we are utilizing. Example, if you take, we are creating a few edutech-based artificial intelligence systems, which can help our students to upskill or skill their knowledge. So there's lots of opportunities, and technology playing a major role. Like example, recently we requested one of the German company who is creating a aeroplane engine. We have taken a digital twin of it and we have given it to some students to study. And with the help of the digital twin, they are fine-tuning that process, and they are trying to create a better systems by sitting in their colleges or at home. I think lots of opportunities which we are opening up. And coming to the entrepreneurship, which is my favorite area, we are allowing to create an entrepreneur ecosystem to grow across the higher education campuses by setting up incubation centers and leveraging the existing technology parks. Recently, I visited one college in Tamil Nadu. They are almost inside the technology park. So imagine the kind of opportunities they are getting. So they can simply just move towards to the technology park. They can work with various organizations. They can improve their entrepreneur skills. They can do lots of R&D. They can learn 21st century future technologies. So we are doing all that to leverage the research outcomes, industry collaboration, student innovations to drive the regional and national economy. Because see, this is very important. Till
Right.
now we are spending, we are not getting any returns. So now because of this new education policy, this money will go as an investment to solve most of the problems in our country, so that it will basically drive our economy forward. And supporting setting up incubation centers, which is very, very important. I mean, not only on the technical front, we are doing this on a healthcare side, on agriculture side, on a general education side, lots of areas we are concentrating, because this is not only for one set of students, every student, every set, every stream. We have every businesses kind of a business entities we are trying to cover all those problem statements and working with all these different entities, and made this new education policy in agile in nature. That's a beauty of this thing. So if we are getting some kind of new technologies or a new business and ideas, it has that adaptability. Example, recently gig based model became very famous, right? So we are embedding that gig-based model into our internship portal. So anyone they can do a internship-based or a gig-based. So that's the beauty of this new education policy. It is very, very agile in nature. And funding to create incubation centers, and helping students to get a venture or angel investment funding. I mean, lots of new things which we are doing. And if you see from the Indian tradition, language, arts, and culture point of view, I mean, I take this entire entity as one, because India has a very rich tradition of knowledge and developed over the ages. I mean, we are like millions of years of old human beings, and studying, researching, preserving, promoting, this kind of a knowledge will have a direct impact on the society. So preserving and promoting this kind of a cultural wealth must be given a high priority, and new education policy does that. And it is very important for our national identity as well as for our economy, because if you see couple of the methods adopted by our sages, has lots of solutions with a minimal investment. So we are concentrating and coming up, on preserving knowledge on the human values, science and technology, social system, political systems. If you see, the first navigational system was invented in our country by Rajaraja Chola. And, I mean, amazing, the entire economics, what we call it as today, the trading systems was invented by Indians. The best of the best ships was built in India, thousands of years back. And when Britishers visited India, they was amazed by seeing the size of our ships. I mean, that kind of a knowledge which we used to have, and it is very important to preserve and utilize such knowledge into our current, 21st century. So research into the new education policy, I mean, the Indian knowledge systems, in different streams, and utilizing that for the fulfillment of current needs is the need of the hour, which new education policy fulfills. So we are documenting, we are doing a digitization of all this literature available, so that anyone can come and they can read it. And we are trying to promote that in multiple languages, so that the foreign entities can also come, institutes, researchers, they can look into it and they can understand. And we are concentrating on field of Ayurveda, neuropathy, etc. Maybe I'm not expert in that subject, so I'm just limiting myself. This is the thought process what we have on the Indian knowledge system side. And from the Indian language point of view, as you know, we have beautiful vernacular languages. I mean, our
Right.
languages are, but our culture, our heritage, it has a combination of arts, science, culture, philosophy. I mean, it was a beautiful thing. When you hear your mother language, you feel delighted, right? You feel so
Correct.
happy. So preservation of all our local languages are very, very important. And this is one of the aim of a new education policy. So we are not only preserving, we are promoting. And we are promoting researching on our ancient literature. And we are promoting use of mother tongue in primary and secondary education as well as higher education. And promotion of national languages in the country. Because we have beautiful language. If you see, every language are so sweet that you will feel so comfortable. And most of the languages are maybe 10,000, 20,000 years of age. I think it is our culture, it is our history, heritage.
Right.
We must.
Exactly.
So we are utilizing the advanced translation technologies using artificial intelligence and translating most of the documents into 12 different languages along with English, so that the interested people can go through and understand all this. So this is one area. And coming to the technology, I mean, technology, as I already said, plays a very major role. See, nowadays we are providing AR, VR based solutions, robotic based solutions, because the student don't need to go to industry. Sometimes they can create a small set of robotic lab. And within that lab, they can create the entire, they can replicate or create a POC of a larger industries. And we funding for all those kind of initiatives, and we are utilizing AR, VR, and interactive videos, and mainly the personalized and customized learning, because I feel strongly that every student is unique, and
Right.
every student needs a different kind of a learning patterns. So we are utilizing the advanced technologies to make sure that every student learn on their own learning path. Maybe sometimes, they learn utilizing a textual based or a research based or a image based or sometimes, the interactivity based, sometimes on a video based, sometimes on a voice based, sometimes on a speech recognition. I mean, we are just taking things completely to the next generation. At the
Yes.
same time, we are preserving all our Indian culture and heritage.
Indeed, sir. I think you have told, actually, you have given a very detailed insights into this new education policy, and you have told some of the great terms. You told how this new education policy is more towards actually creating an entrepreneur, more towards giving practical knowledge and practical education. And you have also told that how actually we are coming with gig economy, and this will also going to produce not only entrepreneurs but also the solopreneurs. And you have talked about the setting up of the incubation centers in almost every college of the country. Like a baby is nurtured, incubation centers actually provides facility to nurture young firms during their early months or years of growth. Further, this collaborative program designs help new startup to succeed, and this is actually a welcome and amazing change. Sir, I must say there's a lot more to learn from you, but today I don't want to take too much of your time. So moving to my